Hi there, YouTubers. I'm going to present to you another selection of records that I've picked up recently. Just some odds and ends, real variety this time. First is going to be The World of Donovan. This is a double album, and it's very much like a greatest hits album, a double greatest hits album. Columbia did a series of albums called The World of Marty Robbins, The World of Johnny Horton, etc. And they did The World of Donovan, and they included many of his big hits on, I guess most of his big hits on this double album. It's from about 1972. This is one I hadn't seen before. It's Vangelis Soil Festivities, and it's from 1984. I like Vangelis' music. Another album I'd never seen before, it's called The London Sampler, an album for the price of a 7-inch single. And it includes a lot of 80s groups, Bronski Beat, Bananarama, etc. Perhaps they were selling it in the store for about $1.98 or something as a sampler. This is Diana Ross and the Supremes' Greatest Hits. Very common album to find. What's nice about this is the fact that it's, the cover is not in the greatest shape, but the album's mint. It is the original pressings from the 1960s. It's not the reissues from the 1970s. Herb Alpert presents Pete Jolly, which is a jazz album on A&M Records from the late 60s. He's a piano player and did a lot of studio work in California. Burt Bacharach plays the Burt Bacharach hits. This is on MCA. In the States it would have been on CAP, but this is a British copy of the album. Burt Bacharach's great when he doesn't sing, and I think this is all instrumental. The Shadow of Your Smile, Andy Williams. This too is a British copy in stereo from about 1966. The Three Sons, Love in the Afternoon. This is from around 1958, one of the early living stereo albums. And Love in the Afternoon is as good a time as any time. Eddie Layton on the hi-fi organ. No blues in this cruise. Some of these have a mark around the edge. The albums are mint, but there's some water stains on a few of these. Japan, It's Sound and People. Full dimensional stereo. It's on Capitol Records. The Adam Ross Reeds do Grazing in the Grass. It's kind of hits of the 60s like Tequila, Music to Watch Girls By, Watermelon Man. Patti Page's Golden Hits on Mercury. Quite a common album. The Platters, Special Memories. This is a double greatest hits album that was, I think it was TV advertised here in Canada. I think this only came out in Canada, didn't come out in the States. But it's a nice double greatest hits collection of the Platters. Klaus Wunderlich, Sound 2000, Moog, Organ and Rhythm. So this is early Moog music from around 1969-1970. And look at this machine. To program that thing, I don't know how you would keep track of all the settings to create the sounds that you'd want to create. It's just an endless number of selections on the machine. Now I picked up some country albums as well that were in really good shape. Unfortunately there's a sticker on this one, but it's Wanderin' with Eddie Arnold. This one's from 1955 on RCA. Doc Williams Sings. This is on Canadian Quality Records, but Doc Williams was a country performer with his wife Chickie Williams, and they worked out of Wheeling, West Virginia. I think it's the WWVA Jamboree, which was a radio show, kind of a competitor to the Grand Ole Opry. I thought it was kind of funny in the back. It's just typewritten on the back. They didn't use any expense to create a nice jacket. but it says, Doc is a family man who has a beautiful wife, Chicky, and 3 lovely daughters, Peeper, Poochie, and Pumpkin. The short but brilliant life of Jimmie Rodgers, and of course this is the Jimmie Rodgers who was one of the founding fathers of country music with the Carter family, recorded in the late 20s and early 30s before he passed away. Tex Ritter, Songs from the Western Screen on Capitol. Chet Atkins Living Stereo LP called The Other Chet Atkins. I think, oh, there's the Parisienne RCA stereo. This would have been from the early 60s. And a few quad albums. Seals and Crofts, Diamond Girl. It's a CD4 quad. I do have a quad receiver, a Sansui, and I also have a quad processor or decoder that I can attach to another of my systems as well. Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth from 1974. It too is a CD4 quad. This one came with the poster. Nice poster and everything in here. And also here in the quad label it says, this A&M Quadraphonic record has been mixed and mastered to produce true discrete quadraphonic sound when played back through a 4-channel system, equipped with a CD4 demodulator and cartridge. So I guess you had to have a special cartridge in your turntable as well as a quad demodulator and a quad receiver or amplifier. And one more quad LP. This is Bach's 6 Brandenburg Concertos with Anthony Newman and Friends. This is on Columbia. The Columbia quad LPs all had the gold surround. And this is SQ quad as opposed to the CD4. It's a different style of quad process. And a little recommendation for you is if you like Sly and the Family Stone, you might want to pick up the quad version of Sly and the Family Stone's Greatest Hits, because it has true stereo or quad versions of some of the songs that don't appear in stereo elsewhere. Inside this one, the sleeve shows all these old quad pieces of equipment like amplifiers, decoders, speakers, great pictures of old systems, and an explanation in the back of how quad came to be. Thanks for watching.